Today, I'm going to talk about the worst person in welding. And the crazy thing that I guarantee is that you have worked with this person before. And what's even worse is that there's even different versions of this person. This person can make people quit their jobs or quit welding entirely. So, how do we deal with them? And how do we conduct ourselves around them so that they don't bring us down? All right, let's introduce the first type of worst person in welding. I'd like to introduce you to the know-it-all. Guys, this might be one of the worst people that we can work with, or at least the most annoying people that we can work with in a shop, or especially try and do any training with. I trained and instructed in welding shops for a really long time, and when I had one of these know-it-alls that I had to train, it sucked. A know-it-all, well, knows it all. And in most cases, from my experience at least, they clearly don't. When you give them instructions or tips, they already know it and don't need to hear any advice on the subject. You guys, this is one of the worst attitudes that anybody can have in a welding shop. Whether you are brand new to the team or you're a veteran there, for sure with what we do, we always want to be confident with our work or our attitude, but a know-it-all is never somebody that anybody wants to work with in a team type of environment. A know-it-all cannot receive any criticism at all, and in my opinion, this is one of the worst qualities that somebody can have. And even worse, sometimes under criticism, the know-it-all will blame somebody else just to save face. Ugh, you guys, have you ever had to work with somebody like this? I bet you have, and I guarantee that literally not one person enjoyed working with one of these people. You hear that, know-it-all? Nobody likes you. So we're always going to be stuck working with some kind of version of the know-it-all. So how do we deal with them? Unfortunately, there is absolutely no way to change them. The best we can do is to work around them and work on our own attitude so we can get ahead. Basically, because we all know how unpleasant it is to work with somebody like this, we need to conduct ourselves as opposite to the know-it-all as we can. And this is how you can get the upper hand with welding in the long run. So what would the opposite version of the know-it-all be? I want to introduce to you right here the learner. The learner is what I always tried to conduct myself as when I was not only coming up with welding, but to this day, this is how I try to come across to others when I am working with them. Sorry guys, I'm losing my voice. I'm really sick right now. The learner is going to attentively pay attention to instruction at all times, asking any smart question that they can think of, asking opinions over different important parts on a job. And here is my favorite thing to do. Ready for this? When somebody was giving me instructions on something that I actually already knew how to do, I would act as if I didn't know a thing about it already. I would just politely stand there, pay attention, and then go do the work even better than they were expecting. And you know what's funny is I still do this. This is not the attitude for just a beginner. This is an attitude that you can keep up for your entire career at all times. And as a matter of fact, the attitude of the learner goes even further to boost your stock the further you get with your career. We can use the terrible qualities of the know-it-all and flip them to make ourselves look even better. Whether you are a beginner or a seasoned worker, don't be a know-it-all. Okay, up next, this guy sucks. Let's meet the knowledge hoarder. Gross. Guys, this is one of the worst people in welding. This jerk keeps all the good tips and tricks to themselves, thinking that this will somehow keep them safe from competition from younger, talented hotshots. They'll stand back and watch somebody do a job incorrectly, or watching them do it in a way that takes forever or is impractical, and basically just keeping all the good advice to themselves. They will happily sit back and watch somebody struggle, or just sitting there waiting for them to mess up and get in trouble. By the way, of all the people that I'm talking about here, let me know in the comments if you've worked with any of these people before. So the knowledge hoarder sucks for sure. So how do we deal with them? Back in the day when I wasn't getting any good instruction from somebody like this, I'd go to all kinds of different sources in the shop and ask for advice on the job that I was trying to do from every one of them. And in some circumstances, this might be from people that are even as new as you are on the job. You don't always have to get advice from seasoned professionals. Anybody will have different skill sets as well as experience or history in a shop. Look for any opportunities to find different perspectives or differing opinions on stuff. This is what you want. After talking to a bunch of different people about how to do a job, this is where you can start to form your own opinions or common threads between different people. You can try all these different techniques that may have been suggested and see which ones work well for you. The knowledge hoarder is just a person. Anybody who does this with younger people on the job, you can get lost. I have no patience for people like this. If you have the opportunity to work with or instruct younger workers, I would encourage you to share absolutely everything you can. Remember, a good student is just a reflection of a good teacher. A shitty student is a reflection of a shitty teacher. So when working with a knowledge hoarder, how do we flip this around so we can be better in the long run? Even though the couple people that we've met here so far suck big time, we got to learn something from them, right? Now, this actually plays into the next jerk that we're going to meet here. So hold on, we'll come back to this one in a second. There is another version of this person that we need to meet here, and let me introduce you to the sandbagger. This guy has actually made people quit welding before I've seen it. The sandbagger will block or prevent people from getting good jobs around their shop. They might give them junk tools to work with, basically do whatever they can to make somebody else's life miserable. The sandbagger will also be threatened by somebody new or somebody talented, and out of fear, they will keep other workers down to eliminate or prevent competition. Guys, I've been on the receiving end of this person before, and this is terrible. I've seen other people quit at shops because they've been on the receiving end of this as well, and they didn't know how to handle it. The sandbagger and the knowledge hoarder are very similar people, and while they can make life for people absolutely miserable around them, there is a way that we can navigate around them to be successful. I'd like to introduce you to the person that we need to become, and this person will overtake the sandbagger and the knowledge hoarder any day. It takes time to work on, but you will always come out ahead in the long run. We need to become the outworker. The outworker ignores and navigates around both the sandbagger and the knowledge hoarder. The outworker will keep their head down and work and slowly just stay the course, practicing and collecting bits of information over time. And instead of playing games with these two doofuses that we already talked about, you want to speak and talk back with your work. Over time, like we talked about, they collect knowledge from different sources. They learn enthusiastically however they can. And in today's world, you guys have online learning and YouTube and stuff like that. Total game changer. You can learn a ton from watching stuff on your phone at home in the evening or just chilling on your coffee break. Look at these people here. These are students in my online TIG welding program. They took the bit of skill that they might have already had and worked hard on their own to learn even more. And look at where they have now built their skill level to. Nobody holding any knowledge back from them and nobody there to gatekeep information. This was the play that I went with back when I was younger. I loved learning in private on my own time. I didn't really want to go to school quite yet. I didn't really feel ready to, so I would take the approach of the outworker. Screw those buttheads here. Just stay the course. Speak with your hard work and your good attitude. It will come out on top in the end. Also, you should be on the lookout for people to gravitate to. I was very lucky, in fact, to have a few great people to learn from when I was young, and this dude right here was one of them. This guy's name is Brian. He works out of a shop here in Victoria, BC, and Brian literally changed my career. He saw my enthusiasm, my positive attitude I tried to keep around the shop, and this dude gave me every bit of advice or knowledge that he had to share. He showed me millions of different tips that I could do with welding and fabrication over the years. And as I grew up and I got better at working, we fed off each other. It was great. If you find anybody like this at any kind of shop that you're working at, stick to them like glue. Don't be annoying. You get what I'm saying though. Buy them coffee, ask them good questions. And these people are going to be our best allies against the knowledge hoarder or any of these other ding-dongs that we've met so far. So again, let me know in the comments below. Have you worked with any of these people so far? We got more to come. And more importantly, like, how did you deal with them? I love hearing that from people. I always just tried to keep quiet and speak with my work and my welding. I wanted to get stuff as clean as I could get it. And one way that you can get good a lot faster is to have your own setup at your home shop or whatever you have as far as a workspace. A handful of years ago, I bought this machine here. It was the Everlast 210 EXT. It was super simple and really straightforward to understand. And the welding and practice I was able to put down on my own time went way up. I wish that when I was younger, I had my own machine that I could have practiced with on my own time. So honestly, if you are able to get your own machine, I promise you, you will never regret it. Practicing on your own time with your own gear that's good gear is the best way to get fast at TIG welding. I've been through 3 different Everlast machines here over the course of my channel, and I'm amazed at how accessible it is for a beginner to get up and running with a great setup at home. I know not everybody is able to get set up with their own machine at their own shop, but if you can, or you know anybody that can get you access to a practice space, practicing at your own time can get you good at TIG welding fast. The next person we're about to meet here is a really annoying one. We've all dealt with this person before. Let's meet the cynic. I might hate this person more than all of the other people we've talked about so far. Maybe. This person sits back and just endlessly criticizes other welders' work. They talk about how they always could have done it better, basically always pointing out flaws in others, saying about how much better they are than anybody else. I have a joke for you. Check this out. How many welders does it take to screw in a light bulb? One, but another 200 welders to stand around and talk about how they could have done it better. Guys, the industry is full of people like this. Just look online in a comment section of anything on Facebook, welding related. It's brutal. Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Most of the time, they don't even have half the skill of the person that they are criticizing. And if they are actually good at welding, man, that's actually really sad to think about. Being a critical cynic in a comment section when you're actually good? Man, dorks. I might not know what's worse actually. Anyway, real G's in the trade keep criticism like this to themselves. I see stuff all the time that needs work, or somebody sometimes boasting about how great they are when obviously something needs more work. But you know what? I keep things inside, stay quiet, and I move on with my own life. Now, if some person is actually asking me for advice, I'm absolutely there to help however I can with constructive criticism. But I always try and package it in a positive and encouraging way. You guys have seen me do this on my channel all the time. You guys, the trade of welding is the best. Whether used professionally or just for hobby or fun, we want to grow this trade. Make people feel welcome and make them excited to learn how to weld. Don't mess this up for people. So, the cynics totally suck and I hate them. How do we deal with them? I don't know, just honestly tell them to fuck off or something. I don't know, maybe not. We just want to work on the opposite of what they are. Let's use their terrible qualities to build ourselves up even more. The person that we need to become and carry ourselves like around the shop is very simple, but just work on being this person here. Let's meet the nice guy. Told you it was simple. The nice person will always be a worker that others enjoy just having around. Don't you all want that? Haven't you noticed in this episode so far, I have not once talked about being the best welder at the shop or being the fastest, the smartest, the person with the most certifications or experience. That stuff is all great if you have it, but what we are talking about is the person that you want to become in a shop. The person that we are talking about becoming in a shop is somebody that anybody will want to be around, willing to learn, willing to help, or willing to lead. To all the guys and girls out there watching right now, we will always have to deal with total morons out there. It's just inevitable. Unfortunately, we can't change them. The only thing that we can do is work on building ourselves up and improve day after day with everything that we do, as well as the person we are when we walk into a shop to start our day. This is how we become somebody who is way above those other dorks that we met earlier. If you are a person that can take instruction well, receive criticism well, and learn from it, you will go far with this trade, I promise. And I'd argue even further from some of these people that we met earlier. Let's be the best people to work with out there, my friends, and do a random act of kindness for a stranger today. My name is Dusty James for Pacific Arc TIG Welding. Fill and chill. We will talk soon. Peace.